I mean, I took this position right when I had the opportunity. Trace actually was a president of Uplifting Athletes chapter, and it was just one of those things that I thought it would be a good idea just to take a leadership position, especially as a young guy. Like I figured it would be a good idea to get in here, get to know the freshmen more, get to know my teammates more by just being in this position. And I think that's just it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of work, but it's been obviously a good thing. And Uplifting Athletes is a great cause, so I'm just humbled to be a part of that.
It goes hand in hand, leadership, with being a quarterback, right? And since
Right.
you're stepping into a big leadership role on the field, this kind of fits, right?
Yeah, I mean, everybody talks about the quarterback being the leader, and this is just one thing that I saw as an opportunity, so I went ahead and I took it, and I'm really happy that I did because it's been a blast doing it with everybody.
This is a really important summer, I would think, for this team because there's a lot of unknowns.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit about what's gone on, with you guys and molding an identity and how important the summer is to getting that done?
Yeah, I mean the summer is obviously one of the most important times of the year. You have different times. You have the winter workout circuit. You have spring practices. You have summer, and then you have fall camp. And summer is where you really figure out your team because that's when all the new freshmen are coming in. Who's going to play? Who's not going to play? Just developing bodies and everything. A lot of guys put on weight, which is really great. And I've just been excited to see where our team's at because we've made significant strides since the spring and since winter conditioning. It's been awesome to see. I'm just excited to take that next step going into fall camp.
Sean, what is one or two things that you've learned from Trace?
I mean, this question is always really tough because, when you're with a guy for 2 years, especially a guy like Trace, you learn so much. And I think that the biggest thing with Trace is I learned a lot about preparation, not only just on the field but off the field, preparing for the classroom, preparing for leadership roles, preparing for everything. So I think that, preparation is definitely number one. And then I guess just like what a great quarterback looks like. Trace did that here. He, I think, is one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback, to come through here so far. And, I'm just privileged to be a part of it and have been behind him to learn. So.
How has your life changed in the last month and a half, 2 months?
Probably as much as you think it has. There's been a lot of moving parts. Obviously, I haven't changed my approach at all. I haven't changed my approach since I stepped on this campus, to be honest with you. Obviously, I've had to be a little bit more of a vocal leader, but other than that, I've just been having fun with it and just kind of enjoying my time and, working to, put this team in the best position we can.
What is that like, being out here, being kind of a central focal point? I mean, I'm sure everybody wants that whenever you get to college. Now you're here and you're seeing your name all over the place. Just what is that experience like?
It's one of those things like, you can't get caught up in it because there's a lot going on, and I'm here to win games. I'm here to improve this team however I can. So I try to shield myself as much as possible from it. I mean,
Is that
I know
possible?
it's tough, obviously, but I do my best to just focus on what I need to focus on. So like right now, it's getting myself better, mentally, physically, stronger, everything like that, and then making sure that our team is moving in the right direction. So that's the biggest thing with me is maybe not shielding it as much, but knowing when to talk to people, when to back off and have my own time. Like kind of the balance is the biggest thing for me. So
We heard a comment from Pat Freiermuth earlier about how we're going to be surprised at how explosive this offense is going to be.
Yep.
Would you echo that?
100%. Yeah, I think that you're going to see one of the quickest and fastest Penn State football offenses that you've seen in a long time. Spring we were very explosive, but we left a lot on the table, and I think that our offense is really hungry to prove that we can be a 400, 500, 600 yard offense each and every game consistently, so that way take pressure off the defense and let them play their game. So
John, people question maybe your explosion, but Coach Franklin's been pretty adamant that your numbers have gone up in a big way since you got here. Can you walk us through some of those and just the running portion, I guess, for you, where the numbers have improved?
Obviously in our offense, you have to run the ball. With the RPO offense in general, it's run, pass, option. Like you have to be able to do all three. And for me, I've just taken that and tried to add that to what I have already. The strength staff's done a great job of helping me, take my 40 down. They've also helped me, prepare for, running situations, get bigger up front or like up top, so that way I can take those hits, and then just in general, just play as a Penn State quarterback should. So I think that this whole summer, this whole offseason, just been really big for me. Not only from like passing and understanding the offense, because I feel like I have a great grip on it now, but more, the fine details.
How much does that help you kind of grow in confidence, knowing that you have those details nailed down?
Obviously, when you can add a whole nother regimen to your I guess what you have to bring to the table, it helps a lot. I came in here, I was mostly just a passer, if I'm being honest, but I think that I've added a whole new dual threat type to my skill level. So I'm really excited to just show it off. To be honest with you.
How ready are you to take on this new role?
How ready am I?
Yes.
Very. I think that this is the most confident and the most ready I've ever been in my life to play this position. I think that it's a testimony to all these guys helping me out day in, day out, get prepared. There's been a lot of confidence from them in me, which I love. I love like having a team that is confident in yourself, because when you have your team behind you, there's no one that can stop you. So I love this team.
How necessary is that for this offense?
Like I said, someone brought it up. Just with an RPO offense, you have to be dual threat. You have to be able to run and pass, and that's just part of it. And Coach Ronnie, preaches it in our room. Obviously we're quarterbacks, so like there's a certain amount of running you have to do. It's not like the maximum. We're not Ricky Slade, we're not Journey Brown, we're not those guys. But at the same time, if there's a play to be made, the play needs to be made. So I think that's like the biggest thing with that.
How much did the experience last year help you for this year?
I think that it was a lot of like garbage minutes with like fourth quarter, like that type of thing. But it's definitely different. You're in practice, you're not getting hit, all that stuff, and then you come out here and my first pass, I get knocked back. Like obviously that's a big difference. But it's just getting used to it. It's just getting back into football, because I have played in high school. Like I know how to play football. So I think it's just like getting back into the normal flow, just not practice flow is the biggest thing. Yeah.
Sean, in years past, we've seen one running back really carry the load, and like Saquon 2 years ago and Miles last year. So what are your thoughts on seeing more of a by-committee approach that Jay Lonsider wants to use, and how helpful will that be to you?
Yeah, I think that our running back room is really strong, and we've had great running backs this year. Obviously Saquon is one. Miles did tremendous things, and he's going to do great in the NFL. And then I think that the guys that we have in here right now are just a bunch of dogs, and I think that it helps me personally, because when you have to worry about numerous people on the field, it opens up opportunities for yourself. So I'm just excited about our offense.
Is it hard to get the read pass option part of it down without having those meaningful minutes that you talked about? Is that one of the tougher things when you actually get into a game to deal with, or no?
Honestly, no. They do a really good job. Coach Franklin puts together really good practices and practice schedules where you're getting good team reps, where it translates directly to the game. So I wouldn't say it's hard in any way. It's more, the speed is a little bit different when you get in a game. Everybody's amped up. Everybody, the fans are involved. Everything's just involved. So it's just a little bit of extra, but I'm amped up too. So